This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by AmazonHerb.net/AmazonAlive. AmazonHerb.net/AmazonAlive. In late March, RidleyReport.com brought you this exclusive video of a federal raid in Plainfield, New Hampshire, an attempted arrest in 2007 of tax protesters Ed and Elaine Brown. Of course, what ended up happening is someone else discovered them, and they ended up chasing that person and tasering him. His name is Danny Riley, and he's since become known as the Dog Walker. Now, I promised more analysis of this video, and unfortunately, I'm not able to get any such analysis from federal personnel themselves because they've declined to speak regarding the Brown supporter trial. Fortunately, however, there are some people in the liberty movement that are perfectly willing to analyze this video.
I'm sitting here with Keith Champagne of Rhode Island, who's, I guess you consider yourself a Brown supporter?
Absolutely.
Okay. And tell me, what's your take on this video?
The video that we just watched? I think it shows the complete government corruption. They'll do anything to cover up the events that happened that day that they did to Danny, and they'll stop at pretty much nothing.
What do you think? What do you think they're trying to hide, if anything?
Just their actions in general. When you shoot at an innocent man that you have admitted that's innocent, it says a lot about your character. So when Danny that day told everybody that he was shot at, people pretty much thought that he was lying, and come to find out that not only was he not lying, it was the government that was lying about what they did to him. So like I said, it says a lot about a person's character and about the government's character and how they'll treat their citizens in general.
What about the government's argument that, they used minimum force? They didn't use any, they didn't actually cause him any permanent damage. Well,
I would have to say that that's assuming that they did use non-lethal rounds to shoot at him. If they were lethal rounds, then that argument kind of goes up in smoke. Fortunately, they didn't hit him. I guess the only way that we really probably would have known if they were non-lethal or lethal is if they had actually struck Danny. But that didn't happen. As far as I'm saying that non-lethal, they admitted that day, Marshal Monier went on, did a press conference and admitted that Danny Riley did nothing wrong except stumble upon the marshals so that they had to detain him. So a man that did nothing wrong, that they then shot at and then tasered, basically passed 20,000 volts of electricity through somebody's body is not, I'd like you to tell Danny Riley that he did nothing wrong and that they used minimum amount of force on him, because I don't think he would agree with that.
What's your theory on why the government is prosecuting Danny?
I think that they're prosecuting Danny for exactly that reason. After that event that day, I believe that was June 7th, June 7th of 2007, Danny Riley, like that day, they denied up until only, I want to say about 2 weeks ago, that they even shot at Danny, and now that they're admitting it, they're saying that it was non-lethal rounds. So Danny, from that day, knows that he was shot at. And then when he got home and he looked at the news clips from that day, he also saw that the marshals were denying that ever happened. So now, in his mind, in his perspective, he's looking at the government and he's saying to himself, they just tried to kill me. Whether they were lethal or non-lethal rounds, it shouldn't really matter, because they didn't even admit that they shot at him until fairly recently. So the fact that they shot at him, in his mind, he now knows that they shot at him, and they were on national TV denying that they shot at him. So it's my opinion that they are trying to stop Danny Riley from filing a civil lawsuit against the marshals involved that day by prosecuting him criminally.
Now, do you think, what about the argument, is it possible that they were just mistaken about, you had a fog of war type situation and Marshal Monier didn't know about the shooting at the time he gave that news conference? Well, the shooting still took place.
The shootings, from what the supporters have been shown, hasn't shown up in any logbooks from the marshals from that day. So it just appears like it's a general cover-up and not a fog of war situation.
Well, why would they, if they were covering it up, why would they show this video? Why would they make it available?
It had to be made available under discovery evidence. Danny requested it to be released during the course of the trial. So now that they've produced it, they've edited the video to not show the proper footage the way it's supposed to be shown.
Okay, it's freezing, so I'm going to ask you only one more question, and that is, what about the whole there's a discontinuity where some of the video is high quality and some videos low quality. What do you make of that?
I think that's their attempt to edit the video so that you can't see the actual weaponry that was used to shoot at Danny Riley. They're claiming that it was non-lethal ammunition, and if you can see the weaponry clearly, then you may be able to tell whether or not it is or isn't non-lethal, but you can't do that now that they've reduced the resolution on that video clip.
But you can clearly see smoke coming from that
You
left
can clearly
firearm.
see that they shot at him, correct.
All right. Thanks, Keith.
Thank you.
Remember those tireless Ron Paul activists who came to New Hampshire for Operation Live Free or Die? Well, one of them is Debbie Ullman of Florida. Not only did Debbie fight for your freedom here in New Hampshire this January, she's now a sponsor of your favorite show, The Ridley Report. Debbie invites you to sample the exotic natural herbs of the Amazon Power Shake, Pure Camus, and a lot of other things that I want to eat, but can't pronounce. The natives of the Amazon need trading partners for sustainable commerce. Head to the video description for this clip, click on Debbie's link to learn more about the importance of the Amazon and the benefits of Amazon herbs.
AmazonHerb.net/AmazonAlive. AmazonHerb.net/AmazonAlive.